हेलो।
Hello.
हेलो।
Yeah, yeah. Am I audible?
यस मैम।
Okay. Are we beginning or is there still time?
Ma'am, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Madhavi, madam.
Good afternoon. Good
Yeah, and
afternoon.
welcome to St. Andrew's College. Before going ahead, let me brief you about this program. This is our second year degree students having field project under the syllabus of NEP, which is compulsory project of 2 credits for all the second year students have to do. And by understanding the importance of this field project, our principal, Professor Dr. C.B. Thomas, has had the vision to support them with this kind of information literacy program, which will enhance students' information literacy skills as well as research skills. So we have so far covered introduction to online resources, plagiarism, how to do literature review, research methodology, and today I'm glad to that you are here to discuss about qualitative analysis, which are supposed to be a very important segment of entire research methodology or the research process. So, without taking much time, now I would request Professor Varsha Sunamni to introduce our resource person. Professor Varsha, over to you.
Good afternoon. Uh, Good afternoon, respected principal, faculty members, and dear students. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to today's qualitative analysis session, an enriching opportunity for our students to deepen their understanding and skills in research. On behalf of St. Andrew's College, I extend a warm and cordial welcome to our distinguished guest speaker, Professor Dr. Madhavi Dharankar, professor and head at the Department of Educational Technology and SWAM coordinator at SNDT Women's University. Dr. Dharankar is an eminent academician with over 2 decades of experience across diverse educational institutions, from private schools and teacher education colleges to state open universities and women's universities. She holds multiple degrees, including MSc in biochemistry, MEd, MA, MPhil, and PhD in educational communication. Her remarkable contributions include guiding over 64 master's dissertations, supervising PhD scholars, and undertaking prestigious research projects funded by bodies such as the Association of Commonwealth Universities and the Ministry of Education's Teaching Learning Center. She has authored and co authored several books, contributed extensively to academic material, and presented research at numerous national and international platforms. Dr. Dharankar's accolades include the most admired woman in educational sector, India 2022, the Academic Excellence Award 2023, and an international scholarship from the University of Michigan. Beyond academics, she is also passionate about sustainable quilting, with her work featured internationally. We are truly honored to have her with us today to share her expertise and insights on qualitative analysis. Let us join together in extending a warm round of applause to welcome Professor Dr. Madhavi Dharankar to our session.
Thank you very much for that lovely introduction. I always believe that the person gets introduced in real sense when during the session, whatever has been done earlier is a past era. Okay, just give me a minute because I had logged in from my PC also, but I don't know. I have got logged out now. Okay, so
But I can see you, ma'am, here.
you can see me through.
Yeah, in the participants, Madhavi Dharankar is there and iPhone is also there.
Yeah, iPhone. Oh, okay.
Both the things are there. I mean, both the name are there.
Are you sure? Because I am not able to see myself from.
So you can re-log in, ma'am.
Because I need to share my PPT. For that purpose, I need
Yes.
to be there
No
from.
issue, no issue.
To be on the safer side, Sujata ma'am, I have sent my PPT to you.
Acha, you have emailed me or WhatsApp?
Email. So in case of extreme emergencies,
I can share from
yeah,
here.
you can share and I will speak from yeah, bye. It is taking a bit time for getting joined from the laptop. PC. Okay, yes. I have joined from the PC now. So let me share the screen. Okay, my screen is visible, right? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible. Sorry, I was on mute.
I'm really sorry, students, for this technical glitch. I'm switching off my video to save the bandwidth.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay, so we are going to talk about the qualitative data analysis. So till we reach this particular stage in the journey, which it's a very interesting initiative taken by the college. So I congratulate for that to the principal, Professor Sybil Thomas, and the coordinator, Sujata Madam, and all the faculty members who have been working into this, and they also will be playing roles, and of course all the students. And I'm thankful for giving me an opportunity to be a small part of your journey. So you have been talking and learning about what research is and what are the various methods, various tools. So conceptually, you have reached the place where it is, the data is being gathered, and then one is going ahead with that. So we are going to take this session, which comes at that particular point in the journey. Okay, so before we go ahead, okay, now especially in the beginning, I would like it to be a little interactive. So what are you seeing on the screen right now? Students, so it will be great if you could respond. And ma'am, I would request you to show me, I mean, if they have written in the chat, then I will take it.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
And of course, students can unmute and tell me
They can speak, yeah.
what are you seeing on the screen? I mean, what would you say if you see something like this? Yes. Are they responding in the chat?
No, ma'am, nothing is there in the chat.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I opened the chat only.
Yeah.
Yes, students, please participate. Students, or I don't know who are listening, whether students or whether teachers, anybody can participate. What are you saying? Art with cloth, okay? Can you say something more about whatever is there on the screen? Yes. Anybody else? Please. It could be your guess. It could be, you may be knowing what it is, or you may be remembering something when you are seeing, these images. Yes, please participate. Okay, fine. So we'll go ahead. I don't know why students are not participating, but yes, it is Tyrone. I'm sorry if I'm not correctly pronouncing the name. So yes, there are two words, art and cloth. So art and cloth. So yes, is this made up of fabric? Yes, it is made up of fabric. Is it art? For this person's eyes, this is art. Maybe for somebody else, it may not be art. They say, okay, some scrap, I can see scrap. If I have to speak something more, I may be speaking that, okay, something looks like hanging the middle image. Something looks like it is hanging, which is for other two images, there is nothing hanging outside. Everything is stitched together. So yes, so like that, you're not speaking, but I'm sure there must be some emotions. Some of you must be, might be happy to see this. Some of you may be finding it familiar. Some of you may be finding it is so very, what a shabby work. So I'm not very happy to look at this. Or some for somebody, it may be, you may be remembering something when you see, whatever you're seeing on the screen. Maybe there is some image that gets, takes birth in your mind when you see such images. So all of these you cannot capture in terms of numbers, except maybe I can say that, okay, there are three pieces. So now three is a number. Maybe I can speak in terms of their dimensions. suppose these are actual objects you have in hand. Let us imagine that situation. So you will be able to measure the length and breadth, or maybe you will be able to measure weight of that. Maybe you will be able to talk about what kind of fabric, whether it is cotton or silk or synthetic, what it is. Okay, so apart from that, rest of the part is emotions, and all of that is the something which you cannot, it's very difficult to capture in the form of numbers or numerics. Okay, so and by the way, we will be going ahead, but these are called as quilts. The first two are what he said very rightly, they are art quilts, and the third one is an artistic, yes, but it is a actual the size is so big that one can actually use it for sleeping. Anyway, let's go ahead. So let us imagine that you are to describe a cake or a muffin. So maybe you would speak in terms of number of how many muffins are there, what's the dimension, what's the weight, and all of that. And when you have to, you can also describe these cakes or muffins in terms of level of softness, maybe the aroma, maybe how porous it is, or is it very, kind of not a very good quality of cake, I can say. Test, if you get to test it, you will be also able to talk about the test. You will be able to talk about the how the insides, the layering of the cake has been, and all of that. You can definitely speak about all of that. So similarly, your research may have both the components of maybe something that could be captured in the form of numbers and something which can be captured. I can't say not capture, but it will be difficult to capture in the form of numbers, and then one speaks in the language of words. For example, if you have to discuss about like how much your mother loves you, or how much your teacher loves you, or maybe in a particular incident, maybe my mother was so angry with me. So what that so angry cannot be given number. Okay, so that all that kind of data would come in the form of qualitative data. So let us understand more about this qualitative data first, and then we will move on to the analysis. So as we saw a few examples just now, the qualitative data would be capturing or would be touching upon all that you are seeing on the screen right now, which are difficult to capture through numerics or numbers. In fact, at times it will be impossible to speak in terms of numbers. If one has to go to the depth, you have got very hurt because of somebody saying something to you, or the teacher appreciated some very minute part of your presentation, but that that took you to a very high level, that okay, this is small thing, looks like a small thing, but I had put in so much thought behind it, and my teacher captured it, she noted it, and she mentioned about it. So you can't give numbers to that. Okay. Similarly, perceptions. Different people will have different perception looking at one thing. Like for example, those three images. So somebody wrote art with cloth. So nobody wrote quilt there. Okay. But maybe somebody else may think of the word quilt. So in qualitative data may also talk about maybe the experiences, the process. Process is not procedure. Like add, keep 2 cups of water for boiling, add one spoon of sugar. Not that. That's the procedure. I'm not talking of that. But the process. Suppose somebody asks you that, okay, you are given learning resources, and how do you study? What do you exactly do? So you will describe your process of studying. You will describe your process of preparing for the exam. Maybe there are some practices at times, reasons. So maybe same option is selected, but two people may have two different reasons for selecting that particular option. Like that, there could be many other things which are at the core of qualitative data. So when you will be conducting research, you may be having some of these angles through your data. So where does this data come from? So there are possibilities of you conduct you interview people, you ask them. So you must have talked about this earlier, but in interview, it's not only the words that I'm speaking, but it is also my facial expressions, and beyond that, even my body language. The pauses also speak, right? In context of interview, it is not only what is said, but how much time was taken, how much, whether the answer was thought and created, and then the person responded, or was it the moment you finish your question and immediately the answer would come. So all these minute things are captured at the time of interview, which is the huge qualitative data observations. So in research, what happens, especially when you ask the person to respond through writing means even Google form is writing because it is documented. So there is a tendency to give socially acceptable responses. Okay, so if you ask me, okay, to what extent do you exercise daily? I'm not exercising as of now. Okay. So, but if it's a question of my social image, so maybe I will respond that, yeah, I do that 45 minutes online yoga sessions. I do. I climb up the staircases. So that is what would happen if I had to give you response in writing, because my social image matters. So in order to get into more depth, you would observe me. So you will get to know whether to what extent I am really giving the truth. So interviews and even further observations help the researcher to go closer to the reality than what is only reported in writing. Beyond that, there would be field notes. So field notes would be the researcher when one is on the field. How are people behaving? Suppose your research is about how are people behaving on the railway station. So you will be going and sitting on the railway station and making notes. What are they doing? What is their behavior? How are they? Are they eating anything, drinking anything? Are they throwing, the garbage in the dustbin? So those will be your, of course, observation, and you will be taking out the field notes, which will be not very elaborate, because field notes, you are in the field, you want to capture something very, in very short, and then after, later you will be writing that in detail. It could be also collection of the work done by the participants whom you are conducting the research with. There could be case studies that you are conducting with maybe an institute, maybe a project, or maybe a person. And there could be the longitudinal study over a long period of time. The data would be collected. So this will be less likely to happen in your case, possibly, because I suppose you are to complete this research within this academic year itself. And there could be also a lot of documentation, record keeping. So maybe one's diaries, blogs, everything would become even in the Facebook post or social media posts would also become a part of the sources of qualitative data. Then what are the various forms in which those are available? So, of course, those are available in the form of text. Okay, so words. Again, it's diary, documents, description. So especially in case of diary, possibly you would also get to know the person through handwriting. So that's another advantage of using diary or some maybe handwritten letters or something like that, or maybe some comments on on letters. So formal letters. So that could be there. There could be photographs of the work that has been done, or maybe suppose it in your case may not be there, but maybe a parent teachers meeting, or maybe when you are all are sitting in the, your classmates are sitting in the canteen and your research is related to that. So maybe a photograph of that. When they are playing on the ground, a photograph of that, or something like that. There could be visuals which are, again, we call something as artifacts. So visuals which are creations of the participants. So maybe the concept maps that they have drawn, the drawings or infographics that they have drawn, all of that would be coming here. That could be at times video recording, audio recording, and all of that. So not a single research will have all of these, but there are possibilities and you would be the best judge to decide upon what would be the form of qualitative data that you would like to take ahead in your research. What does happen then in the qualitative data analysis process wise? So you of course arrange the data, you organize that properly. So you give the date and time and the place where the data has been collected. You may give a coding. Now we are going to use our coding once again later, but that is a different context of coding. In this case, the word code is, for example, as we know in research, ethics wise, we are not to disclose the names of the persons. So suppose you collected data from Madhavi Dharankar. So you will not be able to report it as Madhavi Dharankar. So maybe you will give the code to person, like code like, for example, person A. Then you collected data from, say, Sujata madam. So you cannot write her name in the report. So you will be coding that person as person B. Okay, so in your report, in your research article, it will be reported as A, B, C, D. So that kind of a code, it means this particular coding. Then you validate that, you show the data to maybe some expert. In your case, of course, the teachers are there to guide you. And after that, you can, conclude later on. We are seeing the things technically here right now, or I would say theoretically here. In the later part of my presentation, we will be seeing the actual examples of how the qualitative data analysis would look like. Okay, so when the process goes, so suppose you interviewed a person. So I'm going back to, or going to a micro level, that you ask one question and there is some answer given. Okay, so you prepare a transcript of that, and then imagine that one question and one answer. Okay, so that's the smallest unit of it, and like that you might have asked 10 questions, or the entire document of maybe 5-6 pages will be there. I'm sorry for this carpentry work that is going on in our neighboring building of the department. So that is something we cannot avoid. Anyway, so that one question and one answer. So you read that particular, the answer, the sentences, what that word means, what kind of emotions are, getting depicted. Is there any connect with maybe earlier experiences, or maybe the personality of that person, or maybe the work of that person. So those words you capture and convert those into codes. Now, what you are seeing right now on the screen, all the three terms, codes, categories, and themes, those will necessarily mean something, words, okay, verbal form, necessarily. Now, how those will be presented, we will come to that in some time. So those codes are collected and those are kind of converted into categories. So multiple codes, they come together to form categories, and like that multiple categories come together to form themes. Now, to understand this better, I would like to give an example of concept map. So have you all ever heard of concept map? Made concept maps anytime during your studies? This is only yes or no question, so at least please answer that at least in the chat. Concept map, have you heard of it? Used anytime? Please respond. Okay, so see, concept map is a process where as a central part to the concept map is a concept. Then from concept to sub concepts, there are branches get formed. Then from sub concepts to maybe sub concepts, which may be again maybe features, maybe types, maybe utilities, maybe challenges, or whatever, could be various branches, and then there could be further sub branches to it. At the further end of this concept map, there could be actual examples appearing. Okay, so imagine a tree. So just like a tree has a trunk in the center, and then there are branches and sub branches, and then finally there are leaves. Okay, even within leaves there is a main what do you call stem vein or something, and then there are further branching happens. So it is that process that from one central concept there are so many different branches get created, branches and sub branches and sub branches. For the process of codes to categories to theme is exactly opposite process. Okay, so there are many responses your respondents have given or participants have given. So from their responses, you narrow down it to codes. Then you gather the similar codes together and then convert that into multiple categories. And again, those categories come together to form a theme. Okay, so it is exactly opposite process of concept mapping. Anyway, this is beyond the topic, but I would like to say a line about concept mapping, that please do use it as a part of your study. It's an amazing technique of studying and especially useful for your exam. Anyway, let us be in qualitative data analysis. So from codes to categories to themes, that's the process happens. And in one qualitative research, there could be multiple such themes. It need not be that only one theme is getting created. So we will see a few examples of that. So when we are doing this qualitative data analysis, there are multiple methods. I'm not going to speak much about this because I suppose this research and qualitative data analysis is coming first time in your life because of this initiative taken by the college. But there could be different kinds of analysis that are possible of the qualitative data. So one is content. So narrative analysis is where it is the stories or how they sell through that maybe difficult phase of life or happy phase of life. So all of that will come under narrative. Discourse will be basically the conversation. So suppose your study involves how the students are interacting or how the students are brainstorming, then maybe discourse analysis would be something like that would be coming. Thematic analysis would be majorly done as in the way we saw in the earlier slide. Grounded theory is again from examples to theory. We will be seeing a few examples of grounded theory when we see the actual examples. And then there is a phenomenal analysis where it is the people's experiences. So how did I survive through maybe COVID, or maybe I lost my father or mother. How did I sail through that that difficult situation? So something like that would be the focus of phenomenal analysis. How would you decide which analysis to be chosen? So it depends upon your, of course, objectives and research questions that you have said. It will be whether you are looking for their unique experiences or what are you exactly trying to study in that. So that is what will be the will decide on which method you will be choosing. Now, when you go at the micro level of qualitative analysis, so it will be, now this diagram is not mine, it has been taken from the book by Creswell. It begins with sketching the idea, then one takes down the notes. We spoke about the field notes as one of the sources, so summarizing from those field notes and working a lot with the words, because see, in quantitative analysis it's all about numbers. So similarly here, people's expression will be through words, through maybe their creation. Okay, so maybe the drawing, that those first three pictures which you saw of the quills, maybe that is somebody's way of expression. So maybe that is also, that could be categorized, collected. So then you collect what are the related categories out of that, and then counting the frequency, which code is strongly depicted through the answers of variety of people, and then reducing those to themes, then create a point of view, because you are the researcher. So it is their perception, their narrative. You are trying to study from their perception, yes, but you are reporting from your perception. Okay, so it is both the perceptions would come into picture, and then you take a decision about how to display the data and the findings. So the various forms of presenting the qualitative data as a part of your report or paper there could be tabular forms coming into picture. There could be structured visuals. Now, both the point number 2 and 3 also is speaking about creative visuals. So both are talking about visuals, but the first one is structured and second is creative, where the researcher will decide how I want to present my, the analysis or data. We are going to see the examples of both, and a story of the person. If it is the narrations that you are going to study through your research, you would be presenting their story as well. So this slide has been specifically added. I'm sure you might have discussed, or you may be discussing later about how to write a research report or write an article on the, when you are going to take all of these efforts. But still, I thought that this particular slide is crucial, because qualitative data, unlike your quantitative, where you don't give the raw data. Suppose 10 students are there and you give them a test. So whatever scores they obtain, you are not going to report student number 1 obtained this many marks, student number 2 obtained this many marks. You're not going to report that as a part of quantitative analysis. But in qualitative, it is not so. Out of those 10, though not for all 10, maybe a few you want to pick up something in order to support your code or your category or your theme. So you need that actual code. What did the person actually say? What words were used? So that needs to be a part of your report or the paper. Similarly, there may be some narrations. May not be that entire 2-3 pages long narration, but maybe some expert point that which focus upon the core part of it. So that could be coming, or maybe certain drawings or actual work. Now, one of our students, she had done qualitative. It was a qualitative research, and she was her focus was on cooperative learning strategies. So that means the students are divided into smaller groups of 3-4, and that was in pre-primary school. So she had captured their photographs. So that, because the theory says that they should be sitting together, they should be discussing. So what was actually happening in the classroom? So she wanted to support her whatever observations were given. So it was supported with the photographs. So that could be, their drawings or actual any other work that you would like to, you feel that it has relevance. And very, very crucial, just giving this or quotes, narrations is not going to be sufficient. All of that has to be supported with this researchers' comments, perceptions, or linkages, maybe with the theory or maybe some other examples or some other experiences. So this has to be with all of these together. Now, this again, I'm not going to discuss much about this, but one thing I can say that as a qualitative researcher, you need to put in more efforts, and it goes more in depth compared to quantitative. Okay, so now the fun element, according to me, begins of this session, where we are going to see a few examples of qualitative analysis. I'm going to try not to explain you the research entire, otherwise, talking a lot about every research will be very, very time consuming, and it may not be that interesting. So what I have focused, because the topic of this session was qualitative data analysis. So what I have focused in this particular section of my session is give you the research title and show how the data is present. I mean, data analysis is presented at the end. Analysis is the process, but how the conclusion or the findings are presented, that's what we're going to see in the next slides. Okay, so this is my own PhD work. And you remember there was a mention of structured visual. Okay, so this is a structured visual. CTA is constructivist approach, constructivist technopedagogical approach. So there were two such diagrams. In order to save time, I have added only one diagram into this. Otherwise, the title speaks comparative study. So there were two diagrams, one for behavioristic and another for constructivistic. So in this case, only the CTA diagram has been added. And since there were comparison, whatever was common amongst both the approaches, it was shown in black ink, and whatever was unique to constructivist approach, it was shown in red. Okay, so why am I calling this as a structured? Because now I'm not getting into the theoretical detail. This is a result of the qualitative research method, which is called as grounded theory. So there is the proponent of this theory or this research method. They have given this specific structure that, there has to be central phenomena, how the person handles that central phenomena through action, and what are the consequences. So these three are the main boxes. And then when before the central phenomena, there is some causal condition that is happening because of, for that central phenomena to happen. And for a person to take the action to handle the central phenomena, there is some context that person has, and there may be some intervening conditions. So I wanted to take this action, but this was my problem, because so that could be the case. So those are noted over here. So my point is that this structured that it is given in the theory. So researcher doesn't have the scope for changing it at all. Okay, though we are going to see one minute but very crucial value addition that one of the researchers has done. So that we are going to see in a few slides later. Okay, so that is why this is a visual form, but it is structured, definitely. Okay, now this is the research done by one of the students of our department. I was guiding her. So Shailaja was looking at how the learning happens as participation in online synchronous discussion forum. So she has given even a type of discussion forum, discursive. So let us see her. So this is her image, or is her way of putting forth. Same structured way, but now you can see that she has added this relationship of intervening conditions to phenomena, causal conditions to phenomena, and so on. So for every arrow, she has written a connecting words on that. Now, the original theory of the research doesn't expect to happen this. Okay, but she has added, and that was a really, really value addition, and that's why this was shown. So this is once again another example of how to show it in the visual manner. Okay, now this was a research by again once again MEd student. So he was studying. There was a Tejaswini project. Tejaswini project was focused on the girl students of his school. So and they had got the awards for the project as well as the project coordinator, and that's why he took it as a case study. So I'm just showing you, I'm not going to discuss this, okay? So don't take tension about that. But just giving you an idea about how in-depth a qualitative can go. So there were so many different aspects of data collection, so many different instruments of data collection, instruments as well as technique. You can see observation, interview, also documents, questionnaire, everything was there. And this is one of the findings he has. Now, this was in Marathi. So I have captured that image from his thesis to show it to you. So that's why you can see this, and everything is in Marathi. And this is his final, presentation of the analysis. So you can see that he has given that the thickness of the arrow, he has used the thickness of the arrow to convey how the expectations from the maybe the decision makers or the policy makers to actually Labharthi is the beneficiary. So here the thickness is to the fullest thickness, and when it goes from the higher level to school level and then to the beneficiaries, there you can see that the thickness of the arrow goes on decreasing. So he had selected two cases for comparison. So school number 1, which had got the award, okay, and with the other one was any ordinary school. So you can see that compared to now, what is expected that with this same force, it should reach from policymakers to the beneficiaries. But in school number 1, still that is a little diluted. There is some loss while it is transferring from various levels. And when it goes to for second school, which is not an award-winning school, there it is quite a loss of the expectations and the performance in the light of that expectation. Okay, so this was once again by a MEd student. He was trying to study how the primary school teachers, women primary school teachers, how they are able to handle their professional and responsibilities while facing the domestic problems also. Okay, so directly now jumping to this was once again grounded theory example. So here, this again was research was in Marathi, but since the research paper was written on this, everything got converted into English, and that's why we are able to read it in English now. So here again, it is a structured manner the findings have been presented. This is one example of the student from this Department of Educational Technology. She was trying to compare their social presence in blocks and discussion forums. So you can see that the findings have been presented in a diagrammatic manner, and this is the kind of the visual that that nobody dictated her that this has to be the structure. It is her creation. Okay, so you can see the findings. So social presence she has categorized into three: affective, cohesive, and interactive. Okay, I'm not getting into the details of it, but affective is actually only yes, no, like, thumb, and all of that. That's it. So from there to gradually actual interaction. Hello, is there any problem? Okay. Sorry. Sujata madam, is there any problem? I hope I'm audible.
Ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Ma'am, you can go ahead. I think there was some disturbance from back end.
Sure. Okay. So from that, it is merely just what do you say, tick mark kind of a response. From that level to interactive is actually contributing to the discussion. Maybe sharing an example, sharing an exhibition experience, or sharing maybe one's reason for agreeing or disagreeing, or maybe bringing in some another perspective to the discussion, and so on. So from affective to interactive, it is in gradually going into depth. And then she has written here, as you can see, that blogs and discussion forums. So WordPress was the blog that she had used, and here is the discussion forum. And here she has written in words how she found the similarities and differences in their quality of responses. So here she has written it. She has compared it horizontally. That is the type of response-wise comparison. Both these rectangles, and in this particular block, she has compared those across the two options of blogs and discussion forum.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Your slides are not visible.
Oh, yeah. 1 minute. Yes. Oh. Okay. Madam, it has thrown me out of the Zoom now.
Oh.
So I would request you, can you have the PPT, right?
Yes, yes.
So could you please share it?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah, only 2-3 slides are left.
Okay.
So you can directly go to slide number 25, 26. We are on slide number 26.
Let's second.
Yeah. There may be some net connectivity issues from the. I suppose it was visible till then, till that slide number 26.
Yes, it was visible until then. Now only the last thing it was not visible.
Yes.
See, your slides are visible now.
If your screen is getting visible, so slide will get visible now.
See now? Excuse me, madam.
I'm able to see your meeting screen, ma'am.
Meeting screen, not the slide.
Not the slide. At least I'm not able to see. I don't know about others.
Students.
Ma'am, the slide is not visible, ma'am. Sujata, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. I will do it again.
And ma'am, there was a bit of disturbance. Few mics were on. If you can just check.
Yeah, yeah. We have checked that.
Yeah. Ma'am, you need to open the PPT. Your screen is visible.
Mm-hmm.
PPT needs to be open. Sorry, students, for this technical glitch. You can straightway go to slide number 26.
Slides are visible now?
Yes, yes, those are visible.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can go for full screen, ma'am, now.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much.
So you
Okay.
want to go to previous slide, no? This is fine.
No, previous was discussed, so just for continuity, I wanted that.
Okay, 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 madam.
Okay, now this is another example where, so we are seeing these examples especially for the purpose of how the findings could be presented in a variety of manner. So I told you that about concept map, right, a few minutes ago. So this is one example where this student Sakshi, she had conducted this research on, there was a web-based collaborative reading annotation system was used for teaching learning of English literature. So her findings she has presented in the form of a concept map. So concept map would look something like this. Okay, what you're seeing on the screen. So that also could be one of the ways in which it could be presented. Ma'am, could we go on the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, he's saying cannot hear. Ma'am, my audio is clear, right?
Yes, yes. Your audio is clear. This is the next slide, no, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Next slide. For any research, the role of the researcher is big and the role of the guide is very small. That's what I always and keep underlining. And especially in case of qualitative data analysis, the research is the biggest one, and you can see the guide has a very small role to play. Why is it so? Because in case of quantitative, tomorrow you will learn about quantitative. There is no same data analyzed by 2 people, 10 people. Findings are going to be the same quantitative wise. But suppose I read, I see a picture, 10 of us are going to see, 10 of us are going to have 10 different impressions about that. And that is why not the guides, but the student's perception is crucial in context of qualitative analysis. And that is why that was the reason to add this particular slide in the presentation. Ma'am, could we go to the next one, please? Yeah, ma'am, you can just, because we are running show already cross time, so you can show all the, there are many pointers in that. Yes. So qualitative approach is about a lot of hard work, but all it is immense satisfaction, immense. There is no comparison of that. So because you really go into the micro, so it's really, really a very enriching process, I can say. I personally feel it's a process of blooming or evolution, even as a person, as a researcher for oneself, and that is why it's a slow process. I also feel it is something like you enjoy very slowly your favorite dish, enjoy that cake for 10-15 minutes and all of that. You develop a lot of empathy with the persons who you're collecting the data and thank you so much. And yeah, that's all. So I hope you enjoy your qualitative research or qualitative data from your research. Thank you very much. And thank you once again, Sujata ma'am, especially all the more thank you for this last part where your help was very crucial. Thank you so
No,
much.
ma'am, it's all right.
Yes,
So
any
students,
questions? If you
yeah.
have any questions, please, you can either unmute and ask or may post in the chat.
I think when they will actually start working on this
Yeah,
data
exactly.
analysis part.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because that's the time when the questions will arise. Right now, it's one
Yeah,
kind of grasping what is happening. That's all.
exactly. And that's the time when we come across many difficulties and doubts how to go about that. But nevertheless, we have done YouTube streaming. So these videos will be available on our
Yes,
YouTube channel.
true, true.
So they can refer it. And we have seen that students are referring after lecture also.
Okay, that's great.
It's that only that they don't have any questions or the doubts now. So
Yes.
yeah, but thank you so much, ma'am. You have make even us to understand qualitative analysis very clear and to the point and in very simple, lucid manner. So now I would request one of the student, Vinci Korea, to propose formal vote of thanks. Vinci, are you there? Over to you, Vinci.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes, yes,
good.
you are audible.
Yeah. Good afternoon, ma'am. On behalf of the management, the principal, Dr. Sybil Thomas, teaching and non-teaching staff, I extend our deepest gratitude to Professor and Dr. Madhavi Dharankar, head of the Department of Educational Technology at SNDT College of Educational Technology, and Swayam coordinator for generously sharing her wisdom in today's session. Your rich experience from an impressive academic journey across multiple institutions to leadership roles like heading the department from May 2018 to 2021, coordinating Swayam and overseeing the Center for Distance Education truly set the stage for today's session. We also appreciate how you kept this session interactive, encouraging thoughtful questions, weaving in real world examples, and demonstrating how e learning practices connect theory to practice. You didn't just share frameworks, you helped us envision how rigorous educational technology, research, and design transform learning experiences. Once again, thank you for your time, clarity, and encouragement to think critically and innovate in our educational endeavors. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for
Yes,
joining us. Yeah.
yes. Fine. Ma'am, I will log out from the meeting now.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. So I have pasted a feedback link in the chat box. Teachers, please share this link with the student, those who are there in the classroom or those who have attended meeting online. Please fill the feedback form and then you can leave the meeting.
Royce. 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 Yeah.